Welcome to episode 3 of our epic vehicle build-up, 8 hours from stock to rock. Now, if you're just tuning into the series, do yourself a favor and click that link on the top right corner of the screen to take you back to the beginning. Watch episodes 1 and 2, where we turn that cruiser into the track-eating weapon that you see before you today in just 8 hours. Okay, well, spoiler alert, we didn't quite make it in 8 hours. We did blow the time frame. We ended up camping in the shed last night, had a few beers, had a couple of pizzas, but it's Saturday morning. It is a beautiful sunny day. We're about to hit these tracks and put this cruiser through the ultimate shakedown. Later on the Savo, we're gonna hit one of our favorite campsites. We're gonna put all the camping mods to the test too. Now, I'm sure you can see behind me that those four-wheel drives are already muddy, and that was just getting to the start of the track right here. From here on in, it gets even gnarlier. Now, we did swing by Joel's own shed on the way back up here. He's chucked a set of factory side steps on. Doesn't have sliders yet, but just to give those door sills a little bit of protection, we put those side steps on. Now, before we get stuck into the action, do yourself a favor and click the subscribe button and the notification bell, because we are constantly hammering our channel with cracking four-wheel driving, camping, and auto electrical tips, tricks, and techniques, and I guarantee you won't want to miss any of them. Well, I'll go see how the boys are doing, but I reckon it's just about time to hit these tracks. Like I said, it's seriously muddy out here today, so the boys are dropping tyre pressures down to 20 PSI. I reckon we'll need all the traction we can get. Have a listen to that. That big V8 just sounds mean. First serious bog hole, and I can tell from the passenger seat, Joel is keen to unleash the V8.
Jeez, I hope we don't get stuck here. Oh, that thing sounds so good.
Even aired down, there's still bugger all traction to be found.
Damn, this is sloppy, boys.
No dramas, nothing a bit of right foot can't fix. Should get the suspension flexing out well here, mate?
Yeah. Give it a test out at least.
Now, the point of hitting these tracks isn't to drive the most insane lines. It's to shake down the build and make sure everything stays tight. Joel's taking it easy through these bits, and I can understand why, considering how beautiful this rig is.
Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Just crossing up some ruts here.
You've got to love having an auto off-road. It lets you idle your way through just about anything. That was pretty cross-axled, mate.
Yeah. Solid.
Even though the cruiser's got a big lift and the additional weight of the roof rack, the rooftop tent and the awning upstairs, you can see how stable it sits through these rutted bits of track. I reckon this is a perfect example of an all-round tough tourer. This next hill climb is a doozy. We're going to walk it and figure out the right line first. Crazy how the camera just doesn't do this hill justice. Righto, Joel, we've seen the cruiser in the mud. Now let's see how it handles the hill climb.
All right. Let's see what all this new fandangled electronics are all about.
We've got Khan and Mitch spotting the driver's side and I'm on the passenger side. While we want to shake down the rig on this trip, we definitely don't want to break, bend or dent it. For a big touring rig, this thing handles the slow technical stuff so well.
About to pop up.
So that there is a perfect example of why a winch is just such a good idea when you're hitting tough tracks. We're not completely bogged. We could probably get out of it if you hit it forward, hit it back, kept pushing it. But all you're gonna do here is do damage to the car. The rear quarter there, that bumper, it's jammed up against the tree stumps, the roots there. And if we go back, it's just gonna scrape the buggery out of it. So instead, we'll set up a nice easy winch. We'll just pull it forward, no more than probably about 2 or 3 meters, and we'll be good to go again. I just can't stress enough how good it is to have a winch on the front of your rig. No one likes damaging their vehicle, and having a winch gives you the confidence to tackle a hill like this, knowing you don't have to hold it pinned to the floor. In this case, a quick single line pull is all that's needed, just enough to get the vehicle up over this small step and away from that tree root. 10 minutes of work and we've got the cruiser up without a mark. While the boys were putting the recovery gear away, I ran over all the bolts on the roof rack, the lights, the awning and the drawers with some spanners to make sure everything was tight. That's the whole point of a shakedown, to shake out any little bugs. I don't reckon Joel will ever get bored of the sweet sound of that V8. It's like an angry animal just waiting to be uncaged.
No, you're on the tow ball. Let me get out and have a gander.
I'm on the tow ball.
Ooh.
Now Mitch could have winched out of here himself easily enough, but Joel backs up a little and a quick pull on the snatch strap means Mitch is free again. Cruiser 1, Ranger 0. You know what they say, you can take the bloke out of the bush, but you can't take the bush out of the bloke. Have a listen to that.
Oh, listen to that.
Got to pick the right line here. Some of these bog holes will swallow a set of 38s. Well, I reckon we could have easily spent the entire day out here hitting more of those tracks, but we didn't build that rig over there to be just a low range animal. We built it to be an epic camping machine too. So, bit of lunch, then I think we'll hit the campsite. Well, that was a bit of fun, boys, but what do you reckon we head to camp?
Oh yeah, I'm keen as.
You have a couple of bevos?
Yes, please.
Hey guys, real quick one for you. I cannot even see out my windscreen or my mirrors or anything. There's a car wash just across the road. You might just pop in and give it a quick squirt, eh?
Yeah, sounds good,
it's a
man.
good
Good idea.
So that was an epic 36 hours. It's crazy to think that 8 AM yesterday, that cruiser behind us was just about stock as a rock. And now, well, it's an all-round absolute weapon of a thing. So those tracks we did earlier on definitely tested out the low range capabilities. And Joel, I reckon that winch definitely came in handy, mate.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I didn't think I'd need it. I mean, the car is built as a tourer and a camp rig, basically. But like today, it still did it all.
It absolutely did.
Like it really did surprise me. It surprised me. And that last little section, just winch, just for safety. I don't want to scratch it, I don't want to damage it, and the winch come into its own.
Definitely, that makes a lot of sense. We obviously built it to do the low range tracks, but also to come and do this sort of stuff, camp out here.
It's what it's all about. How good is this?
So now this is obviously the first trip, but I've got to ask you, what's your favourite modification so far?
Well, I'll tell you what, mate, today just having lunch. I mean, all four of us just having lunch straight out of them drawers in the fridge and everything else. That double fridge slide just gets it way out. It's unreal. So I'd have to say the rear at the moment.
Yeah, nice. I like the fact I had a little look before that. Battery's still sitting at 13.2.
Mate, it hasn't been under 13.2. Like with the solar setup and everything else.
And obviously the DC charger while you're driving.
That's right. I mean, it's putting in 25 amps while I'm driving. What more do you want?
So I reckon the Cruiser is the perfect example of exactly what we said at the beginning of episode 1. We set out to prove that you could build your dream rig, something like this, at home, in your shed or in your driveway with basic hand tools. You don't need to be a mechanic, you don't need specialist tools, all you need is a little bit of flat space and the willingness to give it a go. And you could get something like that, something that will cross the country, that'll eat up just about any track and take you to any campsite. So as for us, well, we've got a pretty serious job ahead of us for the rest of the night. We've got to seriously test that camping gear out, make sure that fridge stays nice and cold and that battery stays nice and full. What do you reckon, boys? And while I've got you here, remember to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, because in episode 4, I'm going to sit down with Joel and we're going to talk in detail about what he likes about the Cruiser and what he absolutely loves. Well, I reckon that's about it from us for this episode, so I'll get back to testing out this camping gear. Who wants a beer, blokes?
Yes, please.